But first tonight, 6 months later, after someone was brutally murdered.
Rachel Morin's murder has shaken the small town where she lived in Bel Air, Maryland.
To Rachel Morin, it was just another day. Nothing out of the ordinary until the unexpected crashed into her life. We all follow our daily routines expecting the usual outcomes. But what if, just for a moment, you could see the consequences of your actions before they happen? Would you stick to your routine, or would you heed the warning signs and change course? Sadly, Rachel didn't have that luxury. She marched on, unaware of the fate that awaited her. Now, you must be wondering, what exactly happened to Rachel Morin on that fateful day? Well, today's your lucky day because we're about to uncover the gripping truth behind Rachel's destiny. Get ready for a journey where the line between the ordinary and the extraordinary blurs, and every action carries unforeseen consequences. Daily routine turned deadly. It was a beautiful summer morning on August 5th when 37-year-old Rachel Morin decided to seize the day by embarking on an early morning jog. Rachel Morin, who was a mother of 5, set out to explore the picturesque Ma and Pa Heritage Trail in Bel Air, Maryland. The Ma and Pa Heritage Trail is known to be one of the favorite running routes in Bel Air, so it came as no surprise that Rachel chose this trail for her morning jog on August 5th, 2023. However, little did she know that this serene trail on such a lovely morning would take a sinister turn, leading to her tragic demise at the hands of her murderer. On the morning of August 5th, Rachel Morin, a mother of 5, left home for her jog. It was meant to be a quick run, and she was expected back home shortly. Imagine the surprise of her boyfriend, who, after hours of waiting, still saw no sign of his girlfriend. He did the most logical thing anyone in his shoes would do. He went to the local police authorities and reported her missing. Upon receiving the report of the missing 37-year-old Rachel Morin, the authorities sprang into action, retracing her steps and intensifying their search efforts for her distressed family. After hours of searching, her car was discovered at the trailhead of the Ma and Pa Heritage Trail. While this discovery provided a clue for the authorities and her family to focus their search, Rachel's body remained elusive despite hours of intensive searching. After nightfall, the police called off the search for the day, still without any luck in finding Rachel Morin. The next day, August 6th, 2023, brought a glimmer of hope as Rachel Morin was found not long after the search resumed. However, the discovery was met with heartbreak and anguish as Rachel had been brutally murdered and abandoned in the woods. What would have been a great day for her family became a nightmare for them. Investigation. Once this heartbreaking news reached Rachel Morin's family, it cast a shadow of fear and anxiety over the community, sparking numerous questions that demanded answers. Among the inquiries echoing throughout the community were, what befell Rachel Morin? Was she deliberately targeted, or was she simply in the wrong place at the wrong time? If she was targeted, what was the motive behind the attack? How secure were the residents of Bel Air with a murderer potentially at large? These questions and many more were the whispers spreading throughout the community. In adherence to the protocols of handling sensitive cases, the authorities refrained from divulging information to the public to prevent any potential interference by the perpetrator, thus ensuring no setbacks in the investigation. In the days following the discovery of Rachel Morin's body, she was transported to a hospital for autopsy to ascertain the precise cause of her demise. Meanwhile, investigators assigned to the case provided a preliminary overview of the events leading up to her death. Led by Captain Andy Lane, the investigative team believed that Rachel Morin was assaulted along the trail and subsequently dragged through a wooded area before meeting her demise on a drainage culvert adjacent to the trail. In a podcast statement, Andy Lane conveyed uncertainty regarding whether Rachel Morin was deliberately targeted or merely a victim of unfortunate circumstances. Nevertheless, he reassured the public that the perpetrator would be apprehended and justice would be served. New evidence authorities have been on the case, working tirelessly to gather clues. Their persistence paid off when new evidence surfaced during the investigation of the murder scene. Thanks to this breakthrough, law enforcement identified genetic material that could potentially lead to the suspect. It took 12 days after Morin was reported missing, but progress was made. By inputting this evidence into a national database, they discovered a connection to a home invasion in Los Angeles, where the perpetrator's DNA had been detected as stated by the sheriff's office. One might think with the DNA found and ran through the system, more information would be made available to the public to help find the killer. But the authorities had no luck, seeing as the only information to come up was another unsolved case. The Harford County Sheriff's Office unveiled a significant update: surveillance footage from the LA home invasion and assault of a young girl. This additional piece of the puzzle sheds further light on the case. While the DNA evidence hasn't yet pinpointed a specific suspect, it did reveal that the unidentified man is described as 5 feet 9 inches tall, 160 pounds, 20 to 30 years old, with dark hair and a muscular frame, and is believed to be of Hispanic descent. The investigation continues, fueled by these developments as authorities strive to bring justice to those affected by these heinous crimes. The authorities, in their relentless pursuit of justice, made a heartfelt plea to the public, urging anyone with even the smallest tidbit of information to step forward. Their call was met with an overwhelming response, as over 1,000 tips flooded in. Additionally, they conducted 100 interviews with individuals who were in the vicinity of the crime scene, leaving no stone unturned. Even the brave young girl who had faced the same assailant in California was interviewed. Thanks to security camera footage, they captured a glimpse of the perpetrator as he exited her home. Frustratingly, only his back was visible in the footage, hindering efforts to identify him. Undeterred, authorities persisted, tirelessly combing through witness accounts and evidence. Finally, a breakthrough emerged 6 months after the death of Rachel Morin. Through a combination of footage and witness statements, they pieced together a face for the suspect. This revelation brought a sense of relief to Rachel Morin's family, who had endured the anguish of not knowing for far too long. With a face to watch for, the community rallied, determined to remain vigilant and aid in the identification of the perpetrator. In an interview, Rachel's family expressed profound gratitude for this step forward, acknowledging that it would ease their burden after enduring the torment of uncertainty for so long. Despite efforts to create a sketch of the suspect, law enforcement still faced a frustrating lack of progress in making an arrest. Andy Lane, continuing his tireless dedication to the case, issued another impassioned plea to the public. He emphasized the critical importance of even the minutest details, stressing that any piece of information, no matter how small, could be the key to unlocking the truth. Adding to the urgency, the law firm representing Morin's family, Rice, Murtha, Soros, recently announced a significant increase in the reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction. Thanks to a generous $5,000 donation from a true crime podcast that had covered the case, the reward now stood at $35,000. Andy Lane urged the community to keep Rachel and her surroundings in mind, encouraging anyone with even the faintest recollection to come forward. In his words, those seemingly insignificant details could hold the power to break the case wide open, bringing closure to Rachel's loved ones and justice to her memory. Rachel Morin's case may seem overwhelming, but we're confident in the authorities' dedication to capturing the perpetrator and preventing any further harm. The relentless efforts underway stem from a concern that if the culprit isn't apprehended soon, we might be dealing with a serial killer. Sadly, Rachel Morin wasn't the first victim, and while the initial victim survived, it's crucial to ensure no one else faces such a terrifying ordeal. Stay connected with us for regular updates on the case. Your support means the world to us, so don't forget to share, like, and comment if you found today's video informative. We value your feedback and are eager to hear from our viewers.